So 2022 is right around the clock. What a year we've had in 2021 on Facebook ads and just in the marketing world as a whole. We started the year awaiting for Apple's big new update, and then we ended up getting hit with this update in May of 2021 where ROAS plummeted during the months of summer. Then followed by iOS 15, which impacted in September the whole world of email marketing. And we're now just getting over our first Black Friday / Cyber Monday weekend post all of these updates and all of these platform changes. What a year. In this week's video, I'll be sharing with you the top 5 things you need to know to up your Facebook advertising game for your e-commerce brand in the upcoming year of 2022. My name is Justin and I'm the founder of Wizo Media, an e-commerce marketing agency specializing in elevating thriving brands by simplifying e-commerce growth. Before we get started, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to be one of the first to know about these cutting-edge e-commerce marketing tips posted on the channel every Wednesday. The first thing I want to talk about in this video are creatives. Now, I've got two main subcategories to this. I've got videos and UGC. So let's begin by talking about the importance of videos in 2022. So videos have been on the rise throughout 2021. Videos provide a better engagement. You can also retarget people on Facebook through anyone who basically has a video view above a certain percentage. So allows the engagement to stay on the platform. So all in all, videos have been great assets in our ad strategies we're using for clients at Wizo Media. The engagement is better. It's also a lot easier to tell your story through these videos, and a big emphasis is now on creatives rather than targeting. I'm talking about creatives as a whole because targeting is somewhat non-existent anymore. You can still target, you can still do lookalikes, interest-based audiences, even stack some interest audiences, but campaign structures have become a lot more simplified than what they used to be. So in order to scale, you really have to find winners in your ads, and that's all done through your creatives. So the use of videos will definitely be important in this upcoming year. And if you're not already using videos as a part of your ad strategy, I definitely recommend you start using them. Videos can be super easy to make. Again, I'm not talking about having, a super expensive production team and a post-production, also a team in the background that does some crazy video edits. It can all be done with your iPhone. You just shoot something up about your product. You can edit it, and that's something that we recommend our clients. If they don't want to spend any money on tools, literally open up the Instagram story tool, open up your video on there, and then add your text, your overlays, your GIFs, whatnot on your video on there, and just save it to your camera roll. Simple as that. So start using videos, and then UGC is also definitely going to be on the rise, and it already is, and it will continue to be like that throughout the upcoming year of 2022. If you've watched one of my recent videos talking about the ADA-based framework on creating some new creatives for your ads, well, it's a lot easier when you have a video to analyze, the through play, analyze basically the first 3-second video views, and all of these metrics allow you to better analyze your creatives and make more informed decisions. So using videos will be a lot better when you optimize your ads in the upcoming months. And then UGC comes in this middle of funnel / bottom of funnel part of your advertising strategy, and those are key players in building social proof and trust with your brand. If you're just starting out, then use, would it be a friend, would it be a brother, sister, even your mom or your dad, it really doesn't matter. Just use people around you that can belong or that do belong in your target demographic. Use these people to talk about your product, talk about their experience with your brand, and these work amazingly well. Also, now that we're getting a lot more into email marketing at the agency, something that we've set up or that we've seen a few clients already have set up are email flows within apps like Klaviyo, allowing you to gather UGC from your customers directly. So if you're already using email marketing platforms, something that you can set up is a couple of days after somebody placed an order with your brand, you can send them an email automatically asking them to either review your product, so giving you social proof on a product page, or to provide you with a testimonial video of some sort, and essentially you would reward them back with either a discount, a free product, or whatever you decide the offer will be. Now, the second tip for Facebook advertising for e-commerce brand in 2022 is to keep it all on Facebook. Facebook is publishing a lot of new changes and a lot of new features, allowing you to keep most of the engagement and the experience within their platform. And there's a lot of advantages in you doing that. First of all, it's just faster. So if you're thinking thinking about ads, let's say for apparel and fashion brands, we started using a lot more instant experience ads because they're really fast. It just says it in the name, it's an instant experience. So for the user, there's no loading time. It's pretty easy to start browsing through the products and then allow also this sort of playfulness with the ads. So that's something that we started using as we're within the e-commerce space. If you're doing lead gen, you know, would it be B2C, B2B, whatnot, essentially you can start using lead gen forms within Facebook. Those are also pretty instant. Facebook likes that. And what ends up happening as a consequence of all of this is you get lower CPMs and just better engagement rate with your ads. Some new features that are coming up and that have been announced, I know it's rolling out in the US specifically at the moment, so some brands may already have access to that whenever you watch this video, but it's the shopping experience within Facebook directly. So for e-commerce, you'll be able now to have an ad that directs you basically a bit like an instant experience, but instead of checking out on the website, which is the case right now. So if people are playing with an instant experience ad, see a product they like, they'll just click on it, it'll bring them to your website and then they'll check out on your site. Whereas now what Facebook is testing out is that you can check out within their own platform. So they have their own payment processor now, and people, if they see a product they like, they can just simply order it from Facebook directly and then it will connect automatically with your Shopify store. So when this comes out, I'm sure it'll be a key player in ad strategies because again, if Facebook gives lower CPMs from what we've seen so far with these types of ads. Not only that, but it's also much easier for you to track because it all happens on Facebook. So Facebook doesn't need to have external cookies or the conversion API or whatnot. It's all within their own platform. So it's much easier for the platform to track, understand the metric, and also allows you, as mentioned earlier, if ever you're running videos as an example, it's a really great tool because your engagement stays on Facebook. You can retarget people based on video views. So if you're top of funnel ads and you're prospecting at a mass essentially with video ads, then for your middle of funnel, even bottom of funnel, you can use video view retargeting and it just works wonders. You'll lose a whole lot less people than if you were gonna retarget people based on actions that were happening on the site. Obviously, I still recommend you do that because with the conversion API, it's not so bad anymore, but still, video view retargeting is better than retargeting based on website behaviors. The third thing is to diversify if and when possible. As the old saying says, don't put all your eggs within the same basket. I'm saying that, but we're also guilty of doing that, right? We're also running ads for most of the clients on Facebook primarily, but we started integrating emails to help if anything would happen to Facebook. So when I say diversify, it doesn't necessarily mean any other ad platform, but it just means that you have other strategies to bring in new traffic and to bring in new eyes to your business. This could be your organic content. So if you have a really solid organic content strategy, this will help. Then you have anything happening on Google. Google is pretty stable and hasn't been affected as much by all of these changes. So Google is a good one. But it's not available for everyone in a sense that there's no search intent behind your product, if you offer something pretty generic, it'll be pretty hard for you to target some specific keywords on Google, though nonetheless, you could still try with YouTube ads if you have a really great video team. Unlike what I mentioned earlier on Facebook, where Facebook ads, can simply be shot on an iPhone, edited, pretty quickly and that's it. Video ads on YouTube require a little more post-processing, a little more thought through these. So have alternative sources of revenue rather than just, Facebook if that's the case, or just Google if you're only on Google, or just Pinterest, or just TikTok, whatever you're on. And I just mentioned it, but TikTok is a good one at the moment. It's starting to work and it's starting to have a lot of these changes and they're exiting the sort of beta phase that they've been in since they launched. So definitely TikTok is one of these platforms you want to add to your ad strategy as soon as possible. The fourth thing I recommend you do is simplify your campaign structure, simplify everything regarding your ads. As an example, a campaign structure we've started using is one campaign as a CBO with either cost caps or minimum bids on the ad sets, and we have in there your cold and your middle of funnel re-engagement. Some people are saying that this won't work and they're swearing, by not doing that. We're not necessarily swearing by that yet, but it's something that we're starting to try with some clients. It's working well, and I must say that whatever you're doing, just simplify your campaign structures as much as possible. Scaling horizontally has been a little harder in the past few weeks and months. It's more about vertical scaling now, and by doing that, essentially by definition, if you simplify your campaign structures, it'll just allow for simplification when you start scaling vertically. The fifth tip I have for you if you're gonna run ads in 2022 on Facebook is to be ready. So be ready for changes, be ready to adapt. I think a lot of people have been coasting in the past few years on Facebook. They've been doing the same thing over and over again, and everyone has, had sort of adapted to the platform and somewhat knew what to do. So when this happened in May, even though it had been announced a little prior to that updates would come and would affect Facebook, no one thought it would be as bad as what ended up happening in the summer of 2021. So be ready for new changes like that. We're going into an era now where privacy, comes first, and that's a good thing, honestly, but it will still affect the ads and it will still affect our ways of marketing in the future. Google is coming out actually with a protocol where they're gonna try and track based on the device rather than track you personally as a user, as an online user. So that way, all of your data will be identified through your device and not your person. And that, will help with the tracking, will provide better tracking, but also better privacy. So strategies like this, or, new protocols like what we're seeing with Google will come to Facebook eventually, and stuff like that will impact the ads. And what I'm saying now may not be accurate, in 3 months, in 6 months, even in a week, because it's changing so fast. So just be ready for some upcoming changes. Don't get too comfortable with what you're currently doing and always test. For most of our clients, we're always testing new audiences, always testing new campaign structures, new ad types. So some clients, as an example, they never ran any instant experience or never ran any carousels. So we're testing out, there's always tests that we're doing. So test a lot of stuff. You will find some new winners and you'll be able to adapt through these upcoming changes. Now, if you're an e-commerce brand or store owner making at least $20,000 to $30,000 a month with your brand, I invite you to click on the first link in the description down below to book in a really short 15-minute demo call with my team. On that call, we'll be taking a look at your business, taking a deep dive into what you're currently doing, seeing if we can help you. And if we think we can, then we'll end up partnering together and then help you scale throughout the next few months. If we can't, which ends up happening most of the time, and if we have really specific criteria for the type of brand we work with, honestly, really not that bad, because you'll be leaving with a free action plan to implement on your own with your brand starting today. Don't waste any more time. Click on the first link in the description down below to book in your call, and I'll see you guys very soon. So have a great week and see you in next week's video. Peace.